No.
What are you doing?
Say
Taking
hello.
me with all those funny things I did?
No, say, you have to interview Granny so we can have this for posterity.
Interviewer?
Yes.
Good, ask her some questions.
Ask me anything you
Joyce,
want.
ask her some
What year were you born?
I was born in 1906.
And what year were you married?
I was married in 1927.
Wait,
What?
go ahead.
Tell me.
Okay, what were your mother and father's name?
My mother's name was Frances and my father's name was John.
And what was Frances's maiden name?
Perry.
Frances Perry. So you were Mary Perry.
I was Mary Perry Dias Cabral. My,
I'm here.
you got it. I'm glad you did.
And who did you marry?
William
And
Cabral.
how many years were you married?
53, 4,
What year were you married?
1927.
Where?
In New Bedford,
Where in New Bedford?
Mount Carmel.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was your first house?
Where? Oh, I lived in my mother's house. Connors, Slocum and Russell's Mills.
And from there, when you got married, you moved right to Milton Street?
No, I lived in McCabe Street. Then
in
Wilson.
No.
And no.
Yeah.
McCabe, Shop.
Yeah.
And how many children do you have?
3.
And what are their names?
Oh my gosh.
What's Grammy doing?
Lydia,
What's Mom?
is this real? Or are you just
Yeah, it's
giving me
real.
All right.
What's Grammy
Lydia.
doing with
Is it?
Mom?
Then,
get off my legs and
and Bill.
How many grandchildren?
I don't know how many grandchildren. My gosh, I really don't.
I know. I want you to count them.
I had 13 grandchildren. I know I had 13, but
Great
the other
grandchildren.
great,
that
I don't
no
know.
track at all.
No tracking. I haven't. Yeah, I have.
What's your favorite?
Who's my? Ooh, I can't say. I can't.
Mary, it's me.
Hey, look.
My Santa's
Alan.
outside.
How many sisters and brothers do you have?
I have. Let me see. I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Daddy, Mommy,
Oh,
look.
yeah. Wait a minute. You got a problem here? Can you go be quiet? Okay. And what else? Sue, think of some questions.
Not her. I don't want to answer her.
Where were your parents born?
Azores.
Both of them?
Both of them in St. George, Azores.
When did they come here?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You were born in this country?
Yeah, of course I was. They were here. Let's see now. They were here. They were married 3 years before I was born.
But they are.
And they were here 2 years before that. So figure that one out.
What year?
I'm 80, all right? So if they were married 5 years before I was born, and they got married 2 years before, that's 7,
And what year were you born?
1906.
So 1899.
Yes, must have been, right?
Wow.
That's a long time.
That's something.
Antiquish.
So which one sneakers? What other questions do we want answers to? Did you ever fool around?
No. Thelma, don't ask me any questions.
No, I'm not gonna.
She's bad, too.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
What else, Alan? Harborn.
St. Michael Azores. Yeah, he came here when he was 9 months old.
And what were Grandpa's parents' names?
Adelaide, Lima,
Yeah.
and John Cabral.
What was Grandpa's maiden name?
How many brothers and sisters did Grandpa have?
1 brother and 2 sisters. 2 sisters, yeah.
T. Jack.
T. Jack, T. Glory, and Julia. There's 2 sisters and 1 brother. I think that's what he had. Yeah, it is. That's all he had. 2 sisters and 1 brother. That's it.
What year did you say you got married? 27?
Said 27.
So you would have been married 50 years.
50, yeah. Grandpa died in 1980. No, in 1980.
So 87 was 50 years.
Yeah,
Right.
long time.
So what do you have? You have anything you want to leave on tape for posterity? Maybe like your recipe for grape nut custard?
I have no special recipe.
I wanted to tell us how to make egg soup.
Egg soup.
What is that soup that you used to
Oh, with
have?
the egg that Alan likes. Asuta. Asuta. Yeah, he likes
Green bean soup.
egg soup. And what is the recipe I gave you for what you wanted? I forgot.
Me? You never gave me
No,
any recipes.
no.
You just always said that you would, but I think
I
they're all
didn't.
secrets.
I know. I didn't want to tell you.
That's true.
The bread pudding one
I
is
never
good.
got a recipe for bread pudding. You did, because you were going to give it to me. I never got it, though. Did I ever give
Maybe
it
I didn't give it to
to you?
her.
Never did. She never
Okay.
gave me any recipes. I love bread.
Yeah, I know it. I like bread pudding.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
Hot fudge sundaes,
Not hot fudge.
maple walnuts.
Butternut. Butter pecan
Butter pecan?
with butterscotch syrup.
Is that the first thing that you have after Lent is over?
That's the first thing that Philip gives me. He gives me the last one and the first one.
Does he still do that?
Yeah, he
He still does that.
Still does it. That's the end. I have nothing more to
No, you
say.
have a whole bunch of stuff to say, but you just can't think of it.
No, I don't have anything. My mind is a blank. With all other things I can say, I can't say. I cannot say all the other things I want to say.
How about it? Tell one big secret.
Ooh. What a weird secret, my
Yeah,
God.
one you won't tell anybody.
No, of course not. I won't even show it on anything. What's the secret?
Randy has no secret.
I have no secret. My life is an open book. All open.
But you still write your diaries?
I still write my
Every
diary.
night?
Every night. And when I'm gone, people can go back to 54.
You started in 54?
54 until now, except for a short while. When Grandpa died, I didn't do it for a couple of months. But I do it.
And then you took it back up again?
Everything that happens. Not everything, just an outline.
A little bit of
Because I'd
every
have to
day.
have a long diary like that.
But
What's happening? Okay?
Guess so.
I guess that's the end.
that's the whole thing?
There's nothing else now. I'm waiting for the end.
Yeah, there must be something else that you sew. You used to make all the kids' clothes when they
Oh,
were
I
little.
did. If I went, that would be a long story, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what you
used to
have to
save
tell
3
them.
pennies to buy a loaf of bread.
3 pennies.
To buy a loaf of bread. I did.
You never worked outside your house? You had jobs? Once
Oh,
you
of
got
course, I worked in the Gosnell Mill as a spinner.
How much
I
did you
own-
make at the Gosnell Mill?
Oh my gosh, $17 a week.
For how many hours?
We started at 7 in the morning till 5.
And Grandpa worked there too?
Yeah, he worked there
How did you meet Grandpa?
all the time. He used to play with my brother. Good, you did.
All set.
Because we messed up anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, what's the date today?
May 23rd, 1987.
And you are?
I am Mary Dias Cabral.
Sure, she's not sure.
It's Mary Dias. Let me see.
I've got another question. Let's go back to that.
All right. Okay. Ask me later.
Okay, let's see if you can remember for later.
Yeah.
And what year were you born?
1906. I remember that day.
And where?
In Dartmouth, South Dartmouth,
At home.
at home. And Dr. Cushman delivered me. Isn't that something? The Cushman School was named after Dr. Cushman.
Andrew B. Cushman? Really?
Andrew B. Cushman delivered me into this world.
That's historic, man.
Yeah, of course it is.
Might be an antique.
It's
Might be
just an
valuable.
antiquish thing.
And what house were you born? And where were you living?
Corner of Russell's Mills and Slocum Road.
And your parents were named?
My parents were Francis Perry and John. See, I'm better now. John Dias. Choking to death.
John Sousa Dias?
Yeah, John. But you don't have to say that. He's John Sousa Dias.
You're right, man.
All right?
Okay, and you got married,
1927.
and who did you marry?
William Cabral.
And Grandpa's parents were,
Adelaide Lima and John Cabral.
and how many sisters and brothers do you have?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
And how many sisters and brothers does Grandpa have?
2 sisters and 1 brother.
That's right. Same thing.
Same thing. Nemakusa.
You had a brother though that
That died,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
And he had a brother that died too.
He did. Yeah.
The baby.
Well,
Yeah, we both, but you don't count that.
You don't count that?
No, you can. I had a brother that died at 9 months old. And Grandpa had a brother that died at 6 months old.
really?
Yeah. His
What was
brother was
in those days? What was that?
choking, huh?
Oh.
And
Grace.
how old were you when you got married?
Oh gosh, 21.
And how old was Grandpa?
18. Good. Thank
She
you.
robbed the cradle, obviously.
And
Yeah.
where did you move to when you got married?
No, I lived at my mother's when we got married.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, right on the corner
Oh,
where
how
I was
long-
born.
How long did you live there for?
Till my mother and father died in 29. And then I went to, we lived in McCabe Street, then Shop, then Milton, where I
And when did you move to Milton Street? Do you remember the year?
am. Let's see, 35,
How much did it cost you to build that house on Milton Street?
$900.
1938 or 41? What was it?
No, 1938, we built our house, but we lived down in the bungalow, don't forget.
Yeah.
Before, Billy was 3 years old when we moved in that house. It was 1938, July
Yeah.
1938, yeah. And it cost $900 in stock, but that didn't include, the bathroom and all,
Yeah.
and water.
Look at
Just in one.
Cost $1,100 a lumber to
For
build
one
a
room.
deck.
I know it, I know it. $900 it
1987.
cost us.
Who built the house?
We all did, Grandpa did, and T. Lester,
Yeah.
T. Lester is Grandpa's brother?
brother-in-law. He's dead now too.
Where did you work?
Gosnell Mill,
Doing what?
spinning for $17. If you worked all week, you got $17.
Did you work after you had your kids?
I worked until Billy was born.
And where were the kids when you were at work? Who took care of the kids?
Oh, different people. Auntie Lucy took care of
Neighbors,
them.
anybody. We just.
No, not
Yeah.
neighbors, anybody. I don't know what her name is now, that took care of them when we lived on McCabe Street. And then
Sophie did?
Sophie, yeah. And then your aunt, Auntie Lucy, she was 16, she came and stayed with them.
Did Auntie Lucy live with you?
Yes, they stayed with me when my mother and father
Auntie Sue and
died.
Auntie
And my
Lucy.
brother, too. The whole 3 of
Every
them.
grandpa got the whole family.
Yeah, that's what we inherited.
The inheritance.
Yeah.
And where did Grandpa work?
Gosnell Mill as a twister tender. And he worked there till the mills closed. And then he worked in Norquit as a caretaker
Till 1980.
till 1980. Yeah, that's right. Till 1980. All right, time's going.
I know, I'm thinking. How did you meet Grandpa?
I knew him forever.
From school?
From school.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you. Start practicing. I'm not saying. My
What
wife,
did-
this is young.
What did your mother and father think of Grandpa?
Oh, they thought he was great.
They liked him?
They did.
How long were you engaged?
No.
You just
You just go and then
You
you
just
get
got
married.
married?
Yeah. Never get engaged, with the diamond rings and all that.
no? And you got married in 1927. And
Yeah, can I ask her where she got married in church or?
Mount Carmel, but it wasn't a big wedding, but we got married by Monsignor Vieira,
who stood up for you for your wedding?
my brother and his wife,
T. Johnny
Johnny.
and T. Agnes?
Yeah. She wasn't his wife at the time, though.
They weren't married yet.
No.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
No. Honeymoon.
You just went to Mount Carmel Church and then went home
Of course, there's no honeymoon in
with
this.
Auntie Sue and Auntie Lucy.
Yeah, with all the
Everybody.
Bill family, yeah. They all were there to greet me.
You went to work on Monday and that was it?
No, I didn't go to work on Monday. No, I didn't. Because my father was sick. And my mother and I stayed out of work then to take care of them. And I didn't go back to work till after they died.
Do you remember what year your father died?
1929. My mother too.
They both
1929.
died. When did they die?
3 months apart. My mother died. She went for an operation of hernia, and she never came back home. And my father died of cancer. 3 months. One died in June, and one died in October. The
But
same year.
You and Grandpa had been married for 2 years then.
Yeah, we lived there in that house, and then we didn't move.
And what happened to that house? Why did you move?
Oh well, we had to. When that was rented to my father. So when they died, we went and got a house of our own. Paid rent on McCabe Street.
Can you name off your grandchildren? Can you name them?
Sure, I can.
Go ahead.
All right. So we'll start with
Who's the oldest?
Philip and Sandra.
The oldest.
Are the oldest. Then Alan and Ricky, right? And Rob and Joyce. And Mark and Ginny. How many is that?
That's everybody but the Cabrals.
Oh, no, the Cabrals, that's right. Chris and Gina and Jennifer and Benna, Vicky.
How about great grandchildren? You name great grandchildren?
Great grandchildren, that's tough. Great
Billy's
grandchildren.
the oldest.
I'll
Billy's
start from
the
the
oldest.
top. Yeah, Billy James is the
Yeah.
oldest. That's from Sandra. And then I got Katie and Jenny.
And then Philip has
Philip has Scott and Carrie.
Robbie.
Robbie has Casey.
Joyce.
Elizabeth and Ashley.
Sarah.
And Sarah. Forget Sarah. How many is that?
A
And
bunch.
You missed one.
I missed one? One?
Benna.
Oh, yeah, David.
Oh, that's right too.
David. Yeah, that's right. Is that all?
I think so.
So you don't have any great grandchildren yet?
No, Billy, I expect to have, though, because Billy James is already 18, and
Yeah.
he's my grade.
Right.
So, in the event that you don't live for 80 more years, to have great grandchildren.
Well, I don't have to live, I can live 5 years and have great-grandchildren.
Of
Of course, I could have 2
Right.
years.
Billy's 18.
He's 18.
Hey, you might already be great
Oh,
grandmother.
I know it. I know it.
Just 'cause he's
I
not.
hope not.
Oh my goodness, that's awful.
Oh,
Oh my God, look at that.
oh what's... Wee, yee, yee.
Wow.
Really took a slide. He went down hard.
Ooh. Ooh. Temper.
Step on me here.
Oh, he got hit hard. You know you play this. Watch this. He doesn't go back. Look at him. He's still
He's
there.
mad.
Yeesh.
Ooh, they're gonna have a little more
Oh
fighting there.
boy.
Look, there they go again.
Best thing of the game, right? He's a big one, isn't he? How tall is he?
They're all big in that game. He's 6'9".
Oh boy.
Get mad off, I don't say that.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, now when did you start keeping your diaries?
1954.
And did you ever stop?
Yeah, for about 6 months I did
Watch this,
in
Helen.
1980. Then I continued till today.
Watch him hook each other.
And what do you do now during the day and all? What do you do?
I'm busy
Here's
all
the
day,
file
I'll tell
right
you.
here. There's
I
the
do
file right here.
housework, my housework. I don't want to say other people's housework.
May as well be honest, man. This is supposed to be an
I do
honest
other
account.
people's housework, and I take in
Then he took his other arm.
dressmaking,
He took it down with his
alteration,
right
and
arm.
bake,
That was left
Arts
arm.
and crafts.
arts.
Like in wrestling. Rope. They call it clothesline.
That's the truth.
That's a true thing. Now, do you want me to ask you Sue's questions?
No. You can ask me, but I won't answer. What was that? Ooh, Kathy heard it? Oh, yeah? Is it nice?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I don't expect anything nice.
Questions came out of her Howard Robbins books.
Now, your house on Milton Street, did it always look like that? What did it start off to look like?
No, it started off to look like it had 3 bedrooms, and we,
Where was the third bedroom? There's only 2 there now.
yeah, the third bedroom was my both sisters' bedroom. So,
Was it the living room?
The dining area was the bedroom.
yeah,
Actually, they're probably doing it more the same.
Yeah, with the table and chairs.
And when did the upstairs go on?
when did Celia get married?
Well, before that, first my chair was living up there
No,
alone.
no, that was made for Celia, the upstairs.
Just one bedroom there for my
No.
chair first. First it was my chair was up there alone.
No. Thea went upstairs when Celia went. We didn't have. We made that upstairs. It was an attic before that, then, just a plain attic. And
Did
then
anybody sleep up there?
no, only after we picked up the dormer, the roof, and then we made the tenement. What year was Celia get married?
Let's figure about how old Cindy is. Cindy's 38.
37.
She's older than Sandy, so she's 37. She's going to be 30. She must be married 39 years.
Cindy was born in my house, in that house.
So first the upstairs, Auntie Scylla, Uncle Eddie lived
We're
there?
the first ones to live there.
And then when they moved out, who lived there?
Auntie Lydia and Uncle Richard lived there
Was,
after that.
was Phil born there?
Yes,
they were all
Phil,
born there.
everyone. Philip was born there. Robbie and Ricky were born there. In my house.
And then after
And
Auntie
after
Lydia
that-
moved out,
After Uncle Richard moved out, Uncle Billy went up there.
and all 5 of his
All
kids.
his 5 were born there too. Yeah.
Now, and then who lives there?
Now, Mark and Sue. Sue lived there, and Sarah was born there. Hey, and wait a minute. Before that,
In
Joyce.
between there,
In between,
we all lived there.
you did,
Sandy,
Sandra, and
Joyce, and Pat.
yeah.
That's
In
right.
fact, Elizabeth was
was
born
born,
there.
she came back to that house.
Yeah. No, she was born there. I mean, not in that house in St. Luke's, but
Yeah.
she was born. She was a baby in that house too. All of them,
Now, where were your kids born? All at home?
all at home. All at home.
All born at home. Who delivered them?
Auntie Lydia, Dr. Cushman that delivered me delivered Lydia. Yeah. And her and Billy was Dr. Pump.
So when your kids were born, let's see, what am I trying to say? When your kids were born, your house had 3 bedrooms, where the dining area is now?
Well, none of my kids were born in that house.
No.
Oh,
No.
where were they
The house was
born?
built in 1938, so.
Lydia was born.
Gee, you weren't.
Hey, Lydia was born where I was born in Coneslocum in Russell's Mills Road. And then I was born in her grandmother's house on Milton Street. And Billy was born
Shop Street?
Shop Street.
Yeah.
Whereabouts on Shop Street did you live?
Across like where Manny Martin's were there
Yeah,
in that
but-
area. No, not Manny Martin's. But
Yeah.
it's across from where, well, she doesn't know.
Where Auntie Sil lives now?
Marshall
No,
lived
further
there.
down.
Irene Career was across the street, but
It was 87.
I don't know if the neighbors know.
Well, anyway, it was almost across from where Manny Martin Station is now. That's where Uncle Billy was born. The
Well, I
house-
want to know why you fell in love with Grandpa. Why did you marry Grandpa?
Oh, who knows? Who knows? How can you know? How did you fall in love with Alan? How do you know?
Well, I know what I liked about him.
Oh, well.
Is that you, Thelma? What about all that?
You all like to know that, huh? I thought he was cute.
That's good.
And he was good. He
Sound
was
like
good
Sue.
to me.
He had a good body and all.
He was cute.
I didn't think there was anybody else better than him that I knew. There wasn't any else better.
Was he nice to you? Did he used to bring you flowers and all?
No. In those days, you didn't do that. No.
Well, what'd you do? That's what I want to know.
What did we do? We went bicycle riding. He rode me on the bicycle, and we fell down the hill. Remember, you used to say, what's that song you said? And then I forgot.
Yeah, we took a little walk.
Yeah, and we fell down. We didn't have cars at that time. We had to ride bicycles.
When did you get your first car?
Oh, Ben was already born.
What kind of car did you want to drive in?
What was it?
Model T Ford?
A Model T Ford. Yeah. And I had to get out and crank it too.
Yep.
It wouldn't start up. Two half turns and one full turn, and off
And then
it
jump
went.
in, run quick and jump in while it was still.
and get
So the
going.
whole car was
And
like,
make sure it was on a hill in case it didn't. I was only 16 when I got my license. That's,
Yeah.
Who taught you how to drive? Your father?
No, not my father couldn't drive. No, I had to drive for him. He taught me how to drive. Gus Salvador. He's dead now. Gus Salvador taught me how to drive. My father asked me if he'd teach me how to drive, and I went for license and I failed. The first time I failed. The second time I got it.
Why did you fail the first
Because I
time?
went over the curb.
Did you have your glasses on?
You know why? Because when I didn't go for license in my Model T. See, I went for a license in a car that already had a starter, and I wasn't used to that car. So when he told me turn, I turned sharp and I went right over the curb downtown. I failed.
And they just told you forget it.
He said, no, come back again.
What year was that?
Oh gosh, Alan, I was 16. Think of that.
1922, right? 1906
No.
you were born.
Yeah.
That's
So, but
right.
how old was I?
16.
16. I was 16.
Just
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, I was 16 when I got
Tell
my
me you were
license.
answering over here.
No,
or
she's
she's
got-
again?
got that.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I got. She knows. Yeah. Yeah, but that was fun. That
So
was
when you
fun.
had all three of your kids, you didn't have a car. How did you go do your groceries and all?
No, I didn't say I didn't have a car. I got a car after Vinny was born. We walked to the corner.
Oh, you
We
ordered
lived
the
on McCabe
groceries on this
Street.
phone. They delivered.
I walked and they delivered. Yes, we
Where
called
was
the market.
Was it like a
Liberty
corner
Market, Dartmouth Street. Dartmouth Street, Liberty Market. And I call on the phone and they deliver it to the house.
Crazy Joe brought it.
Yeah, but before that, when I lived on McKay, when she was born, where Brooks is now, that was a Rockdale Cash Market. We just walked to the corner and get our food. And we used to walk to the movies on Water Street. We used to walk.
Right?
You walked to Water Street?
Sure,
Where you live
to
now?
go to the movies. Oh yeah, we did.
Memorial Day morning, we used to walk
Walk
to the
to
cemetery.
the cemetery. Yeah.
What cemetery?
Yeah.
Same one? St. John.
St. John.
Didn't Grandpa used to run to work at home?
He did run many times. He did. He walked a long time to
And he
work.
rode a bike too, didn't he?
No, Grandpa didn't. That was me and my father that rode a bike to work. After Grandpa, I don't know, we used to have a truck. Purcells used to pick us up in the truck and take us to work. And,
Where's the Gosnell Mills?
Gosnell Mill.
Where is
That's
that?
where, it's still there.
On Water Street?
No,
Right.
on, what's that, Bolton. It's not the Gosnell Mill now, I think it's sweatshops now. But that building is still there.
The iron stair treads still say Gosnell.
I worked in the Gosnell, yeah.
Right
And
across there
before
from
that,
Finland
it was the
at one time.
Howland Mill. That's what they called it. Before Gosnell, it was the Howland Mill. And then they came
And when did you start working? How old were you?
16.
Did you? Where'd you go to school?
Bliss Honor School and Pegner School. It's gone now. That's where that bank is. The Haven Bank. They broke down the school. You know where the Haven Bank is in Wisconsin after you pass the lights?
Yeah.
That's where the Wisconsin School is.
And that's where you went to
I
school
went from the
first grade?
first grade to the 7th. And then 8th grade, they didn't have it there. I went to Pegner School.
On the corner of Bush Street?
That's where I went. And we walked. We didn't bus either. We walked to school. I never went to course. My kids walked to school.
Yeah, right. We watched it.
Through like 5 feet of snow in the winter?
Oh yeah, and walked to work in the
Yeah.
snow.
From where that house is down to the Craple School, which is up on Social
Yeah, and from where that house is, and we walked to the Gosnell Mill, walking in the snow. as high as the stone walls. We walked. We didn't.
Even
ride.
with us, even when we got the bus, we had to walk down the corner of
Uh,
Cape Street
or a rock
to
cash market. Yeah.
get the bus.
Do you have electricity in your house? Do you remember?
No, I didn't get electricity till I was 21. That's when I moved.
That's when they plugged you in?
No, no, we didn't have electricity in that house where I was born. No electricity at all. No water either.
So how'd you do your laundry and everything?
We had a well. We took it out with a bucket. And washed. That's right. A tub with a washboard. That's how we washed. Never.
That's what happened to Thelma. They used to wash her on a washboard when she was small.
Of course.
So when did you when you moved into Milton Street, did you have electricity? On
Milton Street? Oh yes, we had electricity on Milton Street.
You didn't have hot water though for years and years because you didn't have
Not
hot
till
water.
61. I got hot water in 61. Really? Yep. Tough life I had. That's why now I can't see how kids complain about washing dishes, ironing clothes, because they just plug in. We used to iron our clothes on the stove.
black iron.
Yeah, black
Heat up the
iron.
iron and then iron it.
Iron, and when that one got cool, we'd take the other one.
Right.
Sure.
Because of the whole black Joe.
And now that's what I say. How hard is it to just plug in and have a hot flat? No, it's not at all. And open the faucet and have water, hot water.
You didn't have that.
No, I didn't. I didn't have hot water till 61. So I said I didn't have an indoor toilet till we lived on the Cape Street. It was an outdoor toilet. No indoor.
Where did you go to first grade at school?
We already figured
Oh,
that
you already
out.
did that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bliss
Did that school have indoor plumbing? At Bliss County School?
No, it was outdoors. I got a scar on my arm that I made because they had a nail on the cover on the outdoor toilet. You had to pick it up, and I fell, and the nail went through there on Bliss County.
But there
We
were no
didn't have
germs
all
on that
these-
nail in the old outhouse, huh?
Yeah.
No chance of diphtheria there.
No, sir. No, sir. And it was outdoors, I'm sure.
And where did you go to church?
First we went to Mount Carmel, then we went to St. Mary's, Pignera.
The old St. Mary's on Elm Street.
The little small one, yeah, not the very big one. We went to that little one. That's where you
Is
go.
it still there? Down
Yeah,
at
but
the
it's a
church?
bookstore.
Yeah. Been converted.
Is that where everybody was baptized?
All mine were baptized in Mount Carmel Church. Everyone.
Oh, it was communion, first communion. we all
Communion
did
and
at St. Mary's.
confirmation was St. Mary's
Yeah.
because we got transferred. Because they didn't understand Portuguese, so we went to the St. Mary's because Mount Carmel was Portuguese.
Did you grow up speaking English or Portuguese when you were small?
I didn't know a word of English till I was 7.
And you
We
had to
weren't
li-
allowed to speak English. And my mother and father said we speak Portuguese in this house, and that's what we did. And then when I went to school, that's when I learned English.
You went to first grade not being able to speak
Not
English?
a word of English, I'm telling you.
How many years of school did you go to?
8. No, but you learn it so quickly, you know.
when you're small.
In the end, after a year, I came home and said, I made believe I didn't even know how to speak Portuguese. You know, it's just so great. You couldn't speak Portuguese at all. But I know, none of us. We had to speak Portuguese at home. That was good, because at least we learned the language.
How old were your mother and father when they came over here?
18.
18? They were both 18?
They were both. They weren't married. They didn't even know one another.
Now, that
until
was
they got here.
Grandpa's mother and father's house that I used to go to.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's Grandpa's mother and father. But
Yeah, her mother
my
and father
mother
were dead
and
when I
father.
was born. I didn't.
No, you know. No, because my mother died at 46 and my father 49. And they came from the same place and they didn't know each other there. And they came here and where they worked in the same place here. That's how they met. And then
Where
they
did they
married
work?
here. They married here. They were working for people, you know. They used to come and work for these English people, you know. My mother did housework, my father did farming. And then they got married here.
Was your house on Milton Street the first house?
That we owned?
No, the first house on the street. How many other houses were there when you built that house?
Grandpa's mother's house was
All Cabrals, most of the Cabrals lived there. All those other houses came after.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. We didn't have to move.
Crasman Street was there or
No,
not?
Crasman Street was there, but there was nothing there.
It was just
Oh,
that
no,
little
bungalow was there
no,
that we
we
lived
lived on Crasman,
Yeah.
on the bungalow. I'm calling it Milton.
Yeah.
And then we built a house there.
Where
And
the
we-
Farriers live now.
Where the ferry is.
That was a bungalow?
Yeah.
It was just a
Just
one-story
Yeah,
house.
yeah, that was there.
And what happened to that? Did they tear that down?
No, somebody else bought it and they added on. It's the Farrier house now.
You know, across from Uncle Billy's house.
Oh, okay.
That was one floor.
David and Paul and all that lived.
And there was so no traffic at all. We used to make a lot with our plant right there on Crasman Street, where our house is now.
Mm-hmm.
There was no traffic right there, none
Yeah.
at all. No. But now it's a throughway.
And there used to be a rag man that came.
Oh yeah,
said kids.
yeah. And the
Right,
kids
yeah,
used
right.
they all hid. You remember that
Yeah.
piazza? And Lydia said, "Here he comes," and he said, "Kids, kids, kids."
Yeah, Ragman.
We used to sell bones, not bones. We used to sell rags and bottles.
Yeah.
To the ragman, and he used to cheat us. Remember, he used to tilt the scale back like that so it wouldn't weigh as much. So he'd give us a couple of pennies, and we saved 3 pennies to buy a loaf of bread. Yes, we did.
How'd you heat your house?
Wood,
With wood heat?
In the kitchen stove?
yeah, kitchen stove.
Even your house on Milton Street that you're in now? Same way?
Then we converted to oil, but it was a stove. It was a stove.
Heavyweight, right?
It was still a stove we heated with. And we lived in that house quite a while without water. I mean, without running water with the well. And it was our refrigerator too, because we used to put a bucket down the well.
Right.
Because we had an ice
Square
man that
buckets,
used to deliver
Ice.
ice. There was no refrigerators. No, we delivered ice.
We had one of those, the ice boxes.
Yeah, ice boxes, yeah.
We got one of those after. That was modern, but the ice box.
Oh, yeah,
But
that-
the well was the refrigerator.
Well, we used to put a bucket, with the stuff, butter and things like that down the well. And we raised our own pigs. The last pig, my kids wouldn't eat it because it was a pet, so I had to sell it. Remember on Sharp Street we had that pig? And the kids wouldn't, I had to sell it because it was our own pig.
How about chickens and,
And
stuff?
chickens too, we had chickens.
Did you used to go to horse neck and a horse and wagon?
Oh, sure. Many times. I used to drive the horse and wagon, especially I had to go get grain down Dartmouth Street to Hobbits. And in the winter, I used to be so scared because the horse down the hill, he didn't have snow shoes, and he used to go sliding down that
Even
hill.
then, snow tires were.
He did, no, his
Yeah,
shoes,
that's what
they had winter horse shoes and summer. And he didn't have, I guess we couldn't afford it maybe. And I used to go and get the grain down there at Hobbits for the horse. Sure did. I can tell you a lot of things, but it was all foolish.
Tell me, I don't hear if it's foolish.
It's awful foolish. Things.
Well, you had chickens and all.
Oh, yes,
you
we
had,
did.
You didn't have a barn?
We
Where
had
were the chickens?
in the shed in
chicken
the
coop?
back. Yeah, chicken
Yeah,
coop.
we should.
And we used to get the little baby chicks. Doesn't anyone remember that? We used to put it in the cellar. Remember we used to get
Yeah.
the little baby chicks and feed them?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Beans.
Because that lot where her house is was our lot. And we had a shed back there.
Yeah.
Our outhouse too was in there.
And what was Ma like when she was a little girl?
Very pretty little girl.
It's all these things about her.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand right here.
How'd she used to take care of the lawn?
The lawn?
Mm.
Oh, she loved working outside.
What'd you tell me?
And if I wanted her to stay out of school, sometime I thought she wasn't feeling good, and she wanted to go, and I'd say, "Then let's stay out and dig around the house," and she'd stay out and plant flowers or anything. She loved that. She loved doing that.
Jenny won't let us go to her den. She said it's her tent and she doesn't have to let us in if she doesn't want.
How would you handle this, Granny? Jenny won't let the tent.
Yeah, I just ignore it for a little while, and it's all better. Just ignore it. Because Jenny's so little. They're all going in. See, it's all over.
That's all.
They went out, they said, Mommy said we can go in.
That's it. That's it.
So that's what you and Grandpa used to do on dates, was just kind of go to the movies and stuff?
Oh yeah, just go to the movies. We walked when we went to the movies, though, not bicycles.
Did you have to take everybody else with you?
Of course, we always had to take somebody with us. Who was going out alone?
They didn't care how long it took them, because back then the movies were silent.
They were. They were silent. They were silent. They wouldn't say anything, no. No, we used to walk to the movies. We walked before we got married. We walked after we were married. We used to walk from the Cape Street. That's how Brenda fell off the back porch. Your aunt was taking care of you. Your father and I had gone to the movies, and when we came back, Lydia had pushed you off the back porch.
Yeah.
She bumped her head.
Lydia was awful, wasn't she,
It
as
was
a child?
sibling rivalry. You landed safely,
She
Benna.
was the
I
worst.
landed on my head. I always landed on my head every
Yeah.
time I fell.
Yeah.
It hasn't had any effect on me.
No. I thought she was going to die. I remember. Oh, it was too
It was
terrible.
bad? She
Oh,
fell?
Oh, yeah. It was very bad.
Did you bring her to the hospital?
No.
Who came? What doctor came?
No doctor came. She just got better.
Well, when did Dr.
They
Pierce
thought
stop
she was better, but
coming
now
around?
this is what happened.
50
had
years
Dr.
later.
I had Dr. Pitter, but we didn't take her at that time because if he told me that she was going to die, I would have gone crazy. And I thought she was, but we didn't take her. We just let her get better. She did. Didn't last too long.
How long did it last? How long did it?
She doesn't want to say it. She sounds like a bad person. 3 years.
No, didn't last too long.
He was
No,
just
she
gonna say
got-
50 years.
I did not say that.
She isn't well yet.
She was about 3 days. That's
She's not
all.
all the way back
Was
yet.
she unconscious for 3 days?
No, I would have taken her to the hospital if she was. No, she wasn't.
They would have just buried me in the yard.
Under
well.
one of the shrubs.
She's
The
usually-
doctor would have said, that's a pitter, that's a pitter.
Yeah.
Brother. Please, right. Please, go watch the game.
Are we doing Benna's life after this? No.
No, we haven't got time. My life is too long. There's too many stories.
I know it.
We gotta do that in a day. It's
We're
an
gonna do
8 hour.
yours, Mom.
It's an 8-hour
It's gonna
tape.
be a series, like.
Dallas.
Yeah.
It's too many
It won't even
changes.
be a mini-series.
No, it won't.
It's too many changes. You have to change all the time.
Yeah.
So do you want to see yourself on TV, Granny, before you leave?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ma, let's
Huh?
just get.
You want to at least see the last few minutes to see it on TV?
Oh, well, I'd like to see it. I like to be
Email.
one to see
Wait,
it.
I want to ask more questions.
All right, go ahead.
I know what it says, but what are you gonna put this?
Oh,
Siren
So
in the
every
microphone.
year for Lent, you give up
Jenny's
sweets.
bicycle.
And what's the thing that you have?
Philip gives me the last Sunday,
What kind?
butterscotch Sunday, and he also, after 7 weeks, he gives me the first butterscotch Sunday. Till- Yeah, till today, he's done that all the time, Philip.
What?
That's one good thing he did in his life. That's one of the good things.
Yeah.
One of the good things.
And what I remember from when I first met Alan is when Grandpa used to give you cards, he used to always write
Poems.
his own poems on the back.
Always did. I got some of them yet.
You
Yeah.
saved them?
I saved them. I always did.
Most of the time, he told you what a wonderful husband you had, wasn't it?
Always, always
Yeah.
said, your loving husband.
I'll never
yeah.
forget that.
From
And I
your
was pretty
wonderful
nice
husband.
too.
Yeah, always did.
Ooh, 16 they
2 minutes to play.
They lost one.
We threw Larry out, so.
Well, that's all right. What else? That can't be it.
It's gonna have to be part 2 another time.
They can be part 2 of this tape.
It's fine, yeah, it's gotta be part 2.
You can say that you're sick of being taped now.
Yeah, do I look tired?
Remember that movie my father used to always say, you want to go see that movie? 2 parts?
I don't want
Was it mystery? Wasn't that a mystery movie?
There was a
too?
mystery too. And the other was a 2-part movie.
Yeah. Come early.
Yeah.
Okay, say bye, Granny. Oh. Sunday.